The facts are that a child who has any additional need, in this case Down syndrome, is going to be challenged in achieving various milestones that we would all dream of for our children.
Rachel Emunah Levine is a little girl from London with Down syndrome, whose life is being transformed by a visionary professor of psychology, Reuven Feuerstein, and his dedicated staff in Jerusalem. The Levine family, who had spent the first 2 years of Rachel Emunah's life in Israel, now make dedicated trips twice a year to the Feuerstein Center to receive the unique therapies and special care that are given there. The professor's methods are internationally renowned and have dramatically affected the way many people have lived their lives. This is a film about the extraordinary potential that lies inside every human being and shows that when people combine love, belief and aspiration, this amazing potential can be brought out and turned into reality.
Where are you going? You're going to the swing, but look, there's all children on the swing. So we're going to have to wait our turn.
There's a little girl eating an ice lolly on the orange swing, and there's a little boy on the yellow swing. What? Tell me. So we have to wait till the girl has finished her turn.
It's not that there was an issue with the pregnancy or with the birth and that will be overcome in a period of time. Down syndrome never goes away. Something that stays with one forever and needs to be worked with forever.
Rachel Emunah being born with Down syndrome came as a shock. Not something that we expected.
As first-time parents in our 20s, the statistics were so greatly stacked against the chance of us having a baby with Down syndrome that the fact that we did indicated to me that we were hand-picked for this task.
If God sent her in our direction, then we have to make sure that we can make sure that she fulfills all the potential and becomes who she can become. So we started to say, okay, well, how can we do that? We had no idea. How can we actually fulfill the role that we've been given as parents and guardians? And it turned out that the Feuerstein Center that people come from all around the world for was 5 minutes from our house.
We had reconciled the shock with the blessing, but as soon as we entered the doors of the Feuerstein Center and became part of that family, we realized that there was hope, there was belief.
The centre's groundbreaking methods and programs evolved from Professor Feuerstein's innovative and daring theories, which expressed his refusal to accept the popular belief that human intelligence and achievement potential are fixed and unchangeable.
Human beings are modifiable irrespective of what made them be what they are, genetics or experience, etc., irrespective of their age and irrespective of the severity of their condition.
The professor identified those with Down syndrome as a particularly misunderstood and mistreated part of society.
Children with Down syndrome were considered absolutely defective. They were only trainable, like you train a dog. And we have taken Down syndrome children as those which can show the best how much people can be changed.
I remember standing in Professor Feuerstein's office and looking around at the walls, which, if you think of any stigma of society, it was all negated. You look at pictures of adults with Down syndrome driving their cars, at their wedding, and suddenly everything looked different. I came out feeling really good about things, really positive. I realised that it was because they believed in her.
We focus our work on the thinking skills and learning skills of the child. It's not just words, it's not just, very nice theory. It affects the therapist who knows that he has to come with results.
We say, no, never give up. There's always something more we can gain out of the child. Many parents will say, no, give him a good life by caring about him, give him a good environment. Whereas I know, develop him, that he will be able to integrate himself in society, be part of society.
And you might have to invest a lot. It can be hours and hours, days and weeks, months for children to make progress. But we see it, it happens.
Dolly's crying!
What shall we do?
I'm sad.
Good girl, she's sad.
What shall we do?
Do you want to maybe give her a hug or a kiss?
Hug.
Or we can hug her so she'll feel better. And a kiss, that's lovely.
Rachel Emunah was having speech therapy from about 3 weeks old. She wasn't going to say hello the next day. What were they doing? They weren't just working on a skill. They were working on cognitive exercises, which were helping to form the brain of this child from its earliest days.
Our brain is formed by the type of tasks we impose on him.
Yes.
At the heart of the professor's programs is his theory of mediated learning, which describes a special quality of interaction between a learner and a person in order to increase the learner's level of understanding and cognition.
First the red, then the yellow, then a green, at the end a blue. Now it's your turn. You want me?
The red. The yellow. Yellow.
And then the yellow. Good job. Very good.
And then
Look,
the,
look. Look first.
And then the green.
Green,
And then the
blue. Perfect.
There's a certain amount that we sort of learn innately, but sometimes for some people they actually need somebody in between them and the stimuli that they're seeing.
Mediated learning is the art of helping someone explore their world. Move a little bit forward, making things more accessible to them within it. A little bit forward. It rolls. Push a little bit forward. Oh, that's very good. You can push yourself. 1, 2, and...
But with her, if she doesn't have it mediated to her, she might not actually pick it up. But when somebody's mediated to her, you actually see how she can do anything.
We teach the parents to use day-to-day situations. I saw the effectiveness of the method on my son.
When Elchanan Feuerstein was born with Down syndrome, his grandfather's lifelong work was now being applied to great effect within his own family.
We taught him how to focus. We taught him how to imitate the lips movement, important key for speech. Mainstreaming for us is the most important thing. When my son was in the classroom, he didn't have just one mediator. He had 30 mediators. He didn't have just 1 hour of speech therapy. He had 8 hours of speech therapy each day. Why? Because he was exposed to normative language, to normative vocabulary, to normative articulation of words and sentences.
He will have a group of people to whom he can refer to himself, I want to belong to you.
He wants to be like everybody. He wants to be part of the society.
אני שמח מאוד שאלחנן איתנו בכיתה, הוא ממש תורם לאווירה. ממש כיף לשחק איתו, לדבר איתו, הוא ממש ילד חברותי.
אני אוהב את הישיבה,
כן.
זה שנה האחרונה, אני מסיים י"ב, עושה בגרויות.
They can do well in school, but they have to be prepared first.
We established here the clinic for mainstreaming because we understood that just to put a child in a regular class is not enough.
A child's not just going to thrive by being thrown into a mainstream school.
If you don't train him how to understand that the teacher for 30 children is his own teacher, the child won't be ready for inclusion.
I'm an occupational therapist, and we work here on preparation for the first grade. They have to listen to one another, to learn how to take turns, to listen to the instructions. It's a lot of group work. Because of the group, she sees what the other girls are doing and she wants to join in. Good job, smart girl. מחיאות כפיים לרחל אמונה. כל הכבוד.
Before they enter the classroom, they know what's going to happen there.
Through regular communication with the Feuerstein Centre, the Levines continued to receive guidance at their mainstream nursery in London.
We've been able to get someone else's opinion on strategies to put in place. We've been given ideas that we wouldn't necessarily have thought would have worked.
There's a blue square. Keep your blue square.
We love her like she was any of the rest of them. I definitely feel that she's developed as much as she has because she's been in a mainstream setting. She's not the little shy little girl that would separate herself from the group.
She will learn from the behaviour of the regular children around her.
From being with them and being treated as one of them and us having the same expectations of her as we do of them, she's been able to find the confidence, find the self-esteem, and that's what is making her comfortable in these social situations.
They can really reach a level of functioning as contributive members of society.
Osnat and Daniel Sened are a married couple who benefited from the Feuerstein methods and have successfully integrated themselves into mainstream life on the kibbutz where they live.
אני מאושרת, שמחה, קורנת. אני מאוד אוהבת את חיי הקיבוץ.
Osnat thrives in her job as a nursery assistant, while Daniel takes care of the library and is a full-time worker in the kibbutz factory.
אני מוריד פתקים מקרטונים לשימוש חוזר. זאת אומרת שאני מוריד את הפתקים מקרטונים פתוחים, ואחר כך הם עוברים לשימוש לחברים שעובדים פה.
דניאל עוזר לנו במשימה החשובה הזאת. הוא מוריד את כל המדבקות, וככה בעצם אנחנו יכולים להחזיר את המדבקות חזרה לייצור.
בעל מקסים, שאני אוהבת אותו. וזה מה שחשוב, שאנחנו תורמים לקהילה של הקיבוץ, למקום שאנחנו חיים בו.
Daniel has also nurtured his love of poetry, having a number of his works professionally published and featuring illustrations by Osnat.
שיר המעטים אשר לשירה, אתם ידידיי, ולא חשוב כמה אתם. זה שיר האוהבים אשר למילה, אתם כוח הביטוי, לא משנה מספרכם. רק האחד כי יאהב, עושה כוח רב. תסמונת דאון זה לא מפריע לתפקד.
Our first formal meeting at the Feuerstein Center was a consultancy. Professor Feuerstein, with his very wise eyes, really looked at Rachel Emunah, and then he turned to us and said, prepare for her wedding, because she will, please God, be married. He wasn't just trying to make us feel good, he believed it would be true, and he made us believe that it would be true.
They're not just a school for a particular age group or an early intervention centre, but they're partners that accompany you from newborn into the future. It is so wonderful to see how happy she is, to see her achieving, learning new things.
Rachel Emunah can change the world. She is changing the world just by changing public perception. She's a person who's acquired skills, she's a person who's sociable, she talks, she walks, and she's great fun to be around, so how can anyone not love her?
I want people to be dependent on the others, to be related to the others, to help others and to be helped by others. You love me, therefore, don't accept me as I am. You don't just impose on him because you want him to be like you. You impose on him because you love him.